Hello and welcome to the Horror of It All movie podcast. Another video edition. I'm having fun doing these video versions. I will definitely be doing audio podcasts here coming up. I have another series coming up that I'm going to be diving into. I won't talk about that just yet because we are still talking about Vinegar Syndrome leading into the halfway to Black Friday sale. This is episode 4 in a series of 6. I'm going to be talking about, in each episode, 5 of my favorite Vinegar Syndrome releases that had either come out or I had seen or discovered and then recommend from episode 16 of my podcast, which was about my 25 favorite Vinegar Syndrome releases. And as always, there will be an honorable mention at the end. I think I'm just going to dive right into it. My first recommendation, this one is definitely a mixed bag today, is Beyond the Door 3. Now, for any confusion, for any people that are confused with this, the Beyond the Doors have nothing to do with each other. I call this movie a muck train. This is one of the few, I guess you would say. As I said on the last episode, I'd say about 8 out of every 10 Vinegar Syndrome release is a complete blind buy for me. But I really, rarely, ever, hardly ever, if ever, get let down. There's always something to it. I'm just such a huge fan. They're my favorite label. I have seen a muck train a few times, actually, and I really do like it. It's Italian. It is by the director who directed the movie Iced. I don't know if it's anybody's seen that. That's I believe, an early 90s movie that's kind of obscure at the moment. I don't think anybody's released it. But anyway, we're talking about Beyond the Door 3. Not really. A muck train. The synopsis is as follows. Shy American college co-ed Beverly has been invited to go on a class trip to a remote part of Yugoslavia to witness and take part in an ancient cultural rite. But what Beverly doesn't know is that she actually is being lured to Europe in order to be made the bride of Satan. Narrowly escaping the clutches of a witch, Beverly and her classmates take refuge on a train. Unfortunately, black magic meets them at every turn as the train becomes possessed and begins offing them one by one. Now, I guess there's that connection, the possession thing, the train possessed. The effects are cool. Again, like I said, I believe this is an Italian movie. I mean, the producer is the producer that did the original Beyond the Door. So yeah, Avido Asantes. Terrible with names, as you already know. I'm not going to try too hard. I mean, I'm not going to... I try too hard trying to figure it out. Sometimes it makes it worse, but I still try. Anyway, Vinegar Syndrome goes on to say, from the truly unhinged mind of maverick exploitation producer, as I just mentioned, and writer-director Jeff Kowitney, Beyond the Door 3, originally known as A Muck Train, is an exploitation roller coaster that never stops, one-upping its own insanity, chock full of completely outrageous gore effects, bizarre and often surreal plot twists, and a woolly, whacked-out ending. Vinegar Syndrome is elated to present the world Blu-ray debut of its notorious slice of Euro horror in a brand new 4K restoration from its original camera negative. Or original negative. It just says negative, but yeah. I highly recommend this. Definitely check it out. As usual, I don't know if you can still get the slip. The slip's okay, like in my opinion. The back's cool. But It has a couple of special features on it. It has an interview with the director, an interview with actor Bo Sevenson, an audio interview with the cinematographer, and that's about it. But yeah, highly recommend this one. It is always a lot of fun whenever I watch it. But Amok Train, aka Beyond the Door 3, aka blah blah blah. Anyway, my next pick seems to be kind of a mix, but I think I hear more people not like it, so take that with a grain of salt. I personally had a lot of fun with this movie. I will gladly watch it again whenever. I've only watched it once, but I really enjoyed it. I am talking about The 11th Commandment. This one's a little bit different for Vinegar Syndrome, I guess, but not really. No, I don't know what I'm thinking. But that's the side. That's the back. Kind of a cool slipcase. Completely different artwork on the inside. And then the inside is just what the slip was. Oh yeah, forgot to show you the inside of Amok Train, which I forgot is still one of their releases that still had a DVD in it. So for anybody who cares about that. Anyway, The 11th Commandment. The synopsis is as follows. Robert Knight has been committed to an insane asylum by his greedy and potentially murderous Uncle Charles. As a means of depriving him of his rightful inheritance. But his time in the asylum has indeed turned Robert into a violent lunatic. Fashioning himself as a priestly avenger due to his years of seminary, after murdering a nurse, and orderly Robert escapes from the asylum and begins slashing his way through everyone who stands between his avenging the actions of his uncle. But Uncle Charles has some deadly tricks up his sleeve as well. I really, really, really like this movie. I'm glad that they put it out. It was definitely one that was a blind buy for me, as a lot of them are, as I say. Vinegar Syndrome goes on to say, a seedy and perverse slasher soap opera. I don't really see the soap opera thing, personally, but as only exploitation auteur, Paul Leder, who did I Dismember Mama, and co-writer William Norton Sr., who did Night of the Juggler, could achieve. The 11th Commandment bounces between gratuitous stabbings and squabbling relatives. I guess that's where the soap opera thing is, I guess. But yeah. Dick Sargent is in it, of Bewitched fame. That's interesting. Starring Bernard White of Matrix Reloaded. Vinegar Syndrome brings this trashy rarity to Blu-ray for the first time, newly restored in 2K from its 35mm interpositive. Special features, there's an interview with actor Bernard White, there's an interview with actress Lauren Woodland, and that's about it for special features. This is Region A, and it is locked for people that matters for. Figured I mentioned it because I just noticed that. But yes, I recommend this. Again, take it as you will. It seems like not a lot of people like this one. I really liked it. My third one was one that I ended up buying the slip afterwards when they were putting out old movie slips, which they'll be doing again. I'm very excited to find out what those are in the sale. I'm glad that they do that. I love that they do that, really. Because I'm huge on slipcovers. What can I say? But this movie I'm talking about, when I first saw this was one I saw before Vinegar Syndrome. one of the rare cases. I was not a huge fan. I don't know what it was about it. I was just like, it's alright. But Vinegar Syndrome put it out, and I bought it, and I enjoyed it. I don't know why I didn't like it the first time. That happens. But I'm talking about Pigs. This is how you'll get it now, I believe. I don't know if there's any slip available. This is how I initially bought it. But they put out a slip for it. Interesting slip. Very bloody, very glossy. I like that. And a cool slip there. Still working with the camera. Alright. Pigs is about... Lynn Webster is a mysterious and beautiful young woman with a deadly secret. After arriving in the secluded California town, she takes a job as a waitress for Zambrini, an elderly former circus performer who has run a small cafe, complete with a pen of 12 hungry pigs. Local legend has it that his pigs only eat human flesh, and that in order to satisfy their growing appetites, Zambrini has begun to murder drifters. Soon, the sheriff begins to get suspicious of the strange goings-on at Zambrini's farm and grows closer and closer to discovering the shocking truth about the pigs. Vinegar Syndrome goes on to say, directed by character actor Mark Lawrence and starring his daughter Toni as Lynn. Pigs is a suspenseful, atmospheric, psychological horror film featuring claustrophobic camera work by Glenn Rowland of Ursula She-Wolf of the SS fame, and haunting score by Charles Bernstein, who did Nightmare on Elm Street and Cujo. Vinegar Syndrome presents this classic of 70s independent cinema, newly restored in its original director's cut for the first time on home video. So, I'm wondering, when I initially saw Pigs, maybe it was cut. I didn't. That could be. There is a few things for special features. There's a featurette with actress Toni Lawrence. There's a featurette with the composer. There is an interview with the cinematographer. There's alternate exorcism opening sequence, alternate Daddy's Girl opening sequence, alternate Daddy's Girl ending sequence, Pig's original trailer, Love Exorcism theatrical trailer, verse cover art. But yeah, Pigs. Maybe you can still get the slipcase. That's the slipcase. It does have a DVD because this is an older release. The reverse art is kind of like the slipcase. But yes, I definitely recommend this. It's a little gross at times, but it's kind of fun. It's like a slasher, and the killer's the guy, but the pigs eat him. Pigs. The next one I'm going to be talking about was a bit of a surprise for me. I had a feeling I might like it. I usually like their releases, but I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did. The Severed Arm. That's the back of the slip. Tagline says, "There's a psycho loose with an axe. His trademark." It's kind of dumb. This is the inside of it. I will say this one does have a feel sometimes almost like a TV movie. I'm not sure if it was a TV movie, but the synopsis is as follows. While camping, a group of friends become trapped in a cave. Desperate and starving, they draw straws to decide which one of them to suffer severing his arm, so that the others can eat. but no sooner than making this fateful amputation, they're rescued. Though their unfortunate victim has been driven hopelessly mad by the experience, years later, the survivors have all moved on with their lives. That is until someone with a very sharp axe to grind begins stalking them and chopping off their arms one by one. I've had a lot of fun with this movie. As I said, I enjoyed it even more than I expected. This is the inside of the case. I definitely recommend picking this one up. This one might still have the slipcase, but I'm not sure. Vinegar Syndrome goes on to say, a drive-in and home video staple, thanks in large part to a notorious title and insane concept. The Severed Arm is a stylish, atmospheric murder mystery proto-slasher. That's a better way to say it. Yeah. But I meant because of the whole TV thing. Like, they don't say that, but it has its moments where it kind of feels like a TV movie. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But that's not to say it's a bad thing. But yeah, I totally recommend The Severed Arm. It was a pleasant surprise. There is an interview on the disc with Vince Martonio and an interview with the producer. Not a lot of special features. It was newly scanned and restored in 4K from its 35mm original negative. Severed Arm. Check it out. I think it's... like I said, I was pleasantly surprised by it. Now, as I'm cruising through this, my number 5 pick for this video and podcast is another one that I've heard a lot of people not like, but I have liked this fucking movie for a long time. Is it a great movie? No. But is it fun? Yes. I'm talking about Killing Birds, aka Zombie 5 Killing Birds. It's not a zombie movie. They just the Italians slapped it on there. It's not really part of the series. Just call it Killing Birds. The slip is really cool. But I've always enjoyed this movie. I originally saw it years ago when I got a DVD set that had this in it, I think, with the rest of the zombie movies, other than the first one. Technically, it's Zombie 2, but because Dawn of the Dead Zombie 1, blah, blah, blah. We won't get into that. That'd be a whole other podcast. Actually, it is. I talk about it on my Dawn of the Dead podcast, as well as my zombie podcast. So, while you're on my channel, if you want to check out other stuff, check out those. But yeah, my number 5 pick is Zombie 5 Killing Birds. What's that? Looks like that on the inside. The other art is another title. Not another title. Not for an Italian movie. No way. Raptors. I don't know what it is about this movie. Like I said, is it a great movie? No, but it's great to me. It's fun. Like in a great kind of, I don't know what way, but it's Italian, so I love Italian movies. The synopsis is as follows. A group of college-aged ornithologists, I'm guessing that has to do with birds. I don't know what it says. Sorry. Has taken a class trip deep into the wilderness on a quest to find and study a rare and possibly extinct species of birds. Yes, it was for birds. I feel. Despite receiving anonymous warnings, both human and avian, they set up camp in a musty old house, only to find themselves under siege from mysterious supernatural forces. But it's not just the house or the hordes of hungry birds that they have that they have to worry about. They quickly realize that there is also going to have to contend with a group of bloodthirsty zombies. Is there a group of bloodthirsty zombies? I mean, I guess, but there's not a lot of zombies in this movie. I remember one, but yeah. Maybe it's been a while, so maybe, yeah. Vinegar Syndrome wrote that. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of zombies in this movie, though, who have descended on the deserted farmhouse. Again, a lot of fun. I think it is. I personally recommend it. Not a lot of people love it or even like it. I personally do. Vinegar Syndrome goes on to say, a positively jaw-dropping slice of late 80s horror, as only Italians are capable of imagining. Claudio Lazzani, Killing Birds, sorry I butchered his name, aka Zombie 5, aka Raptors, is an everything but the kitchen sink style thriller which piles on the gore and insane plot twists. And it was produced by exploitation auteur Joe D'Amato. Love Joe D'Amato. I will definitely at some point be doing a video dedicated to Joe D'Amato. Big fan, one of my favorite Italian directors and producers, because he did, in the late 80s, he had a film company that was doing movies in America. I don't know. I always say Filmy Rage. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it, but if you ever see that, you see that on, Hitcher in the Dark. But there's a lot of them that you come across in the late 80s from Italians, movies that are on his imprint there. There is 2 soundtracks on this, the English language. I like to know those things. I'm glad that it's there. I prefer if it's in English. I know some are like, I prefer the original language. That's cool. You teach your own. And it also has the Italian dubbed. It has a video interview with the writer and director. It has a video interview with the sound man. It has a brand new commentary with film historian and author Sam Deegan. And it has the English theatrical trailer and the Italian. But yeah, I like this movie. I have fun with this movie. Always have. But it's great. Nah, I guess not. But I really have fun with it. Killing Birds. Now, my honorable mention this time is from one of their partner labels that they've been doing a lot with AGFA / I always want to say Bleeding Skull. It is Bleeding Skull. I always want to say something else. I forgot what it was. But anyway, this came out a little while ago. This will be in the sale. I don't think it will be on sale. I don't think that their partner labels are on sale unless you're a subscriber. But it's something else. It's found footage before found footage, but I'm talking about the McPherson tape. I personally had a lot of fun watching this. It feels very real. Some stuff in it doesn't look that real, but it's still effective. Like, the ending, to me, is still effective. But it's I guess it's a sci-fi movie, but it's really just a home movie. Like, it starts with, like, a birthday party get-together, and then it turns into, like, an alien invasion type movie. And this is the inside cover. There's that. The reverse slip is an alternate title, UFO Abduction. Close Encounters of the First Kind, Close Encounters of the Second Kind, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I don't know why I read that. I thought it was going somewhere. Sorry. The uncut video footage from the Northwoods, Connecticut UFO case 77. This movie's creepy. I really do. It's short. It's only like an hour, a few minutes over an hour. But I highly recommend it. I had a lot of fun with it. It's, like I said, it's creepy. I love stuff like this where I like found footage stuff anyway, but there are times when it does kind of suck to me, but if it's done right, it's done right, you know? I'm a big Blair Witch guy. I was when it came out. I fucking love that movie. But this was definitely a predecessor. This was before found footage even really had a name. But it even says that the world's first found footage horror movie. A decade before the Blair Witch refined the horror landscape, there was the McPherson tape. On October 8th, 1983, the McPherson family gathered together to celebrate the 5th birthday of Michelle, the littlest member of their household. Everything was captured on VHS by Michael McPherson with his new camcorder, including the alien invasion. Shot for $6,000, $6,000, by the first-time filmmaker Dean Aliato in 1989. This movie blends the production design of JC's haunted house with a dead serious tone to forge a fun. Hypnotic nightmare that upends the concept of reality. Due to a warehouse fire on the original distribution company, the McPherson tape was never legitimately released. Agfa and Bleeding Skull, or Bleeding Skull, because it has an exclamation point, sorry, are proud to present the world home video premiere of this important milestone in shot-on-video horror history, newly presented from its original 3/4 master tape. There are some special features. There's UFO Abduction, the 2007 Director's Cut, 2017. There's a commentary. There is the theatrical trailer. Encounters TV segment, Fantastic Fest Q&A. As I said, I had a lot of fun with this. It is not a Vinegar Syndrome. It's from... You'd find it in their partner labels on the website. That's why it's an honorable mention, because the main thing is about Vinegar Syndrome. So, if any of these sound good to you, I recommend checking them out. I still have 2 more videos after this one. Check out the ones before it and check out the ones after it. That would be cool. Like and subscribe if you like what you see or hear or whatever. I'm not good at, I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. But hawking my podcast, I'm not good at selling, so to speak. I guess I am, but I don't. It's like I feel weird, like and subscribe all the time because everybody says that. But anyway, that is about it. This has been the Horror of It All Movie Podcast. I'm Eric, and remember, it's okay to have an opinion. I don't know why people think that their opinion is law, their opinion is fact. Don't be a dick about it. We're all different, especially in a Vinegar Syndrome type setting. There's a lot of movies people hate that I love, especially an infamous one coming up on the next episode. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please check out my other stuff, and there will be plenty more stuff to come. Until next time.